Hey, I love you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congrats, Zakk.
Hey, congrats, Zakk.
What about Alina? No one's even mentioned her.
Congrats, Alina. Sorry. Congrats, Alina and Zakk.
Congrats.
Maybe.
Alina's uncle. Having a great time.
Alina, Zakk, congratulations.
Congratulations. Just want to wave at the camera, say hi.
Hi, Zakk and Alina. We're so happy for you.
I'll start out with a small warning. To me, this is Como and Kane. I don't do real well with the first names, which is going to be complicated now that they're both Kanes. So bear with me. There was nothing that our professor would ask that we wouldn't know. So once we hit that point, there was no point in studying. So we instead got a couples massage together. Went to bed, and the next morning took our exam and got C's. So after that, we were set for life. We found a sick little baby bird, and we helped her gingerly wrap it in maxi pads so that this girl could take it home and wheel it back to health. And honestly, together, we got through nursing school together. We got through ROTC, and I couldn't have done it without her.
First, if you're ever in trouble, he can shriek really, really loudly. Because he always wants to make sure my reaction time is quick. So he'll often try and jab me in the stomach or act like he's going to hit me when he shrieks, just to make sure my reflexes are working all right.
When I first met you, Zakk, I was like, I don't really know him, I don't know if I'm gonna like him. And then I met you and I was like, oh, you're just like Alina. I'm like, Alina and I can spend days together and we have a blast. And then next thing you know, I'm hanging out, walking into your guys' room without asking, which probably wasn't nice. And coming over and I could talk with you like one of the girls because you're such an amazing person. And I just am so happy that you have found somebody who is your center as well.
Zakk brought Alina home from a date. Alina and I are sitting on the couch, and Zakk comes in, they come in from the beach, they're all sandy and sweaty and having a good time. And we're sitting there talking, Zakk introduces us, this is Alina, nice to meet you. And after a few words, suddenly there was, excuse me, I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm real sandy right now. And off she runs into the bathroom and takes a shower. You and I looked at each other and went, she's a keeper.
So we had a nice dinner, and for some reason Alina disappeared. She disappeared around the corner, and then Zakk's over there. He looked a little nervous. And I figure, okay, let's go with it. Be nervous. But what I didn't know was the whole thing was set up in reference to Zakk asked his hand in marriage to my daughter. And that was a surprise. And that's what I like about Zakk. Person of respect, properly asking to marry Alina. Then Alina comes back and she's more nervous than Zakk. So I said, be nervous.
Hey everybody, so I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who came out. I know a lot of you traveled pretty darn far. So, and some of you who just drove down the street. So I just want to say again, thank you so much for coming out. And I hope you had as much fun as we did. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, when we were making our wedding list, we truly did just want to be, surrounded by people who truly love us. And everyone in here has made a huge impact on me and Zakk's life in some sort of way. And I can just feel the love in this room, which is exactly what I wanted to start with, as we're married now. I'm so happy all of you made it here safe. I prayed everybody was going to be okay, make it here, and make it home safe. And I'm so thankful for every single one of you. Each one of you means so much to me. And you made it so special, and this was the perfect wedding, and this is the happiest day of my life. So thank you.
Do you have words that you would like to speak to her?
I do. I'm going to read them for this little book here that I've prepared. Prepare yourselves, this is pretty long. So you may expect these vows to start off like, since the day I met you, or from the moment I laid my eyes on you. Well, as you know, sweetheart, our story is a little bit different. The day I met you, I didn't introduce myself as Zakk or try to make any flirtatious comments. I introduced myself as Kane, and you were known to me as Como. In sophomore year of college, we were, well, I guess you could call it co-workers for cadets of the U.S. Army. I don't remember much of our conversations, but I do remember that smile, like the one you have right now. You were always so sweet, yet so professional, and I knew that the main thing was you were out of my league. Back then I was, and I guess I still are, the nerd who liked Star Wars and studied World War II. You were this Hawaiian woman who wanted to be a nurse in the Army, aka beautiful and smart. Bingo. A man's dream girl. At least my dream girl. But again, out of my league. So then came a day at the end of junior year where we needed to prepare for Fort Knox, Kentucky. A magical land of large bugs, desert, and a place I never want to go back to. Everybody needed help to prepare in many different areas, where for you, it was the dreaded off-board. So, just being nice, not really thinking anything of it, I asked you if I could help you with them. And that's where it all begins. So, as you probably remember, you and I started to text outside of ROTC, a little here, a little there, but one thing I knew for sure was that I was actually texting Cadet Como. So, a little idea came to me. She really needs help with off-boards, and apparently I said something good or funny enough where we ended up eating at Indochine right down the road from Point Defiance. Well, as it turned out, there was more talking and there wasn't that much studying. And if I remember correctly, the word off-board came up like once, maybe twice. We both then went to Fort Knox, but I had my phone taken from me for the duration of training. But a special moment happened. With dirt and gear loaded up on me and my squad being out in the field for a week, I saw Como. She was on a bus about to leave somewhere, and out of nowhere, I remember her hopping out of the back door of the bus, the emergency door, while everyone was yelling to get back in, and she ran up to me and gave me a great big hug. Fort Knox was then complete, and I went to Disneyland. Then I found this adorable little Minnie Mouse wallet, and I just had to get it for Cadet Como. Of course, there was more and more texting. Then I got something that I just wasn't expecting, a call from her. She was needing to complain about something at her day at work at the hospital on the East Coast. And I know that may sound funny, but to me it was incredible because she chose to call me. I asked to hang out. One hangout led to another, and it led to a date. And that changed her name from Como to Alina. And the most beautiful name there is. We decided on the first date, well, to be here in Ocean Shores. And I'll never forget, we had the most beautiful sunset, a whale out in the water, and literally everything was going perfect. It was like God himself made the weekend for us. Then it happened. Out at the jetty, where the skies were orange and the whale tail going in and out of the water, I don't remember any noise, any wind, any cars, or any people. Just your soft lips touching mine for the first time out on the jetty. I now realize that I wasn't just kissing you, but taking my first steps to returning here, where I stand to marry you. Como, I mean Alina. The world is ready for us to be together, standing here in front of our family and friends, with God watching over us. Let's get married already, because baby, I am in love with you, and my heart will always belong to you. Now let's show everybody how life is supposed to be lived.
Oh, it's beautiful. Alina, do you have words you would like to speak?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. Zachary, a few years ago today, we only knew each other as Cadet Kane and Cadet Como. And for a while, that was how our relationship remained. But whenever you would come up in a conversation, I would always have one thing to say about you, which was, Kane is the type of guy to marry. Looking back, I know I felt this way because you were always someone I could count on, always kind and always trustworthy. Fast forward a few years and our relationship unexpectedly turned into something more. And even though I had turned you down a few times, you persistently pursued me. You asked me out on a dinner date. I was hesitant. Guarded as I was, however, you gave me two options. One, to go to dinner with you on a date, or two, go as friends and get a free dinner. Looking at it that way, I thought, sure, why not? Surprisingly, we turned out to be the same kind of weird. I'm so glad I agreed to that first date because it has brought us here now. Here at Ocean Shores, where we had our first official date and our first kiss, and shared the moment where I fell in love with you. I relive that moment often and will forever cherish that memory. Sorry, I'm okay. Zachary, you bring so much joy and happiness to my life. You make me feel valued and loved. Most importantly, you make me laugh. And as a nurse, I know that laughter is the best medicine. Through all life's ups and downs, you have been by my side, working through life as a team. Anytime I have felt nothing could cheer me up, you found a way to do just that. With you, I know I will always be protected and cherished. You are my best friend, and I'm so thankful that I get to share forever with you. From my initial impression of you, that you were the type of guy to marry, who would have thought I would be standing right here in front of you doing just that? See, I need you. Zakk, I will be there for you on your best days and on your worst, through your successes and failures, and from this day on, as your wife. I promise I will stand by your side faithfully for the rest of our lives. I love you, and I will always love you. That's all.
Would you join hands, please?
Of course.